The Starriors. Escape to freedom. Time. The far distant future. Place. The planet called Earth. But a very different Earth than the one we now know. Scorching solar flares have forced man to abandon the surface of his planet and to take refuge in deep underground caverns. There, in a state of suspended animation, he awaits the time when he can once again return. In his final moments on Earth, man created and programmed two groups of robots to perform separate but equally important functions. The group known as the Destructors were to protect the Earth from invading alien forces and mutated monsters produced by the intense solar radiation. The other group, known as the Protectors, were to prepare for man's return by helping new life to begin on Earth. For millennia, these robots have walked the Earth creating their own civilization. The world of the Starriors.
We did it! We did it! Deadeye and Cricket were right on target. What a team! Those demolishers of Deadeye caused the tunnel to collapse with all those irritating goody-goody protectors in it. So we won't have to worry about them anymore. You don't look as happy as a good destructor should, Sawtooth.
I think your methods are a bit harsh, Slaughter. We could have tried to use the transfer rings on some of those protectors to get the foolish ideas out of their head. Just because they were still hoping that man would return.
That's enough. You know I don't even like to hear the word man mentioned. Sometimes I wonder about your loyalty, Sawtooth.
I do my job, Slaughter, so you have no complaints.
But when the chips are down, I wonder whose side you'd be on.
I think old Sawtooth's got some protector chips somewhere deep down inside his central processing unit, Slaughter.
Gee, thanks for that vote of confidence, Clawgut. You just love to spread the bad word, don't you?
Everybody knows you've got a soft spot for those protectors, Sawtooth.
Enough of this, Clawgut. And you too, Sawtooth. Let's hear what Clawgut has to say about the former site of that tunnel. Any sign of life, Clawgut?
Quiet as a graveyard last time I looked, Slaughter. I'd say those protectors were done for, buried under tons and tons of rock.
Well, the troublemakers won't be around to bother us anymore.
But things are not always as they seem, Slaughter. At this very moment, the Protectors were traveling through the underground tunnels that had served as their escape hatch from Slaughter Steelgrave's evil plan. Thanks to an efficient escape plan, the Protectors were safely making their way through what had been an underground sewer system back in the days when man had ruled the Earth. But making their way where?
Well, Hotshot, you're our leader. Where to now?
I can always count on you, Cut-Up, to come up with a question that sets my central processing unit going.
If that's a compliment, Hotshot, I accept. But as they said in the days of man, you got us into this one, boss.
Yes, but I also got you out of that crumbling tunnel, thanks to Twinblade's old maps. We really owe him our lives.
Thanks aren't necessary, my fellow protectors. It's an honor to help. Perhaps it was meant that we should be forced underground so that I can find another archaeological site to uncover.
I remember hearing a rumor that man is asleep beneath an armored battle station somewhere in the Forbidden Zone, but Slaughter Steelgrave has forbidden anyone to go anywhere near that area.
That's a story we've all heard, Ripsaw. Our problem right now is that we're not sure exactly where we are or where these tunnels lead.
I know I'm not the smartest waster, Hotshot, but I'd like to volunteer to go on ahead. Maybe Windstorm and Runabout could come with me. We can travel faster than you.
Good idea, Ripsaw, and very brave of you, I might add.
Oh, it's nothing, Hotshot. It's the least I can do.
Come on, Ripsaw. I'll give you a lift. Are you ready, Runabout? You always claim to be the fastest transport we have.
You mean the fastest one to run the other way at the first sign of danger? I don't think Runabout is going to be much help, Windstorm.
And I think that you, Costa, are being a nasty, nasty waster.
There, you've gone and hurt her feelings, Costa. You know how sensitive she is. Come on, Runabout. Don't cry. Let's get going.
Good luck, Ripsaw, Windstorm, Runabout.
Thanks, Crank. We'll be back as soon as we can.
The rest of the protectors were grateful to have some time to rest. But before too much time elapsed, the peace and quiet of the underground tunnel was broken by the voice of Runabout.
Hotshot, Costa, everybody, come quickly. We found something, and we think it might be important.
Okay, protectors, move out and follow Runabout quickly. Well, here we are. What's all the excitement?
We were following the tunnel, Hotshot, and suddenly there it was, right in the wall in front of us. Ripsaw got it out, but we don't know what it is.
Get Twin Blade up here. I want his opinion.
I notice nobody's asking old Cut Up for my opinion, but I'm giving it anyhow. It looks to me like a relic from the days of man.
I agree with Cut Up. It looks like we found an ancient time capsule dating back to the era when man inhabited the earth.
If Crank will use his vibro claw to saw through the top, we may get our first glimpse of evidence that proves that man indeed did exist.
Hey, I always wanted to believe that man was more than just a myth. And now, here in front of us, proof at last.
Now, boys and girls, turn the record over.
Didn't I tell you never to use the word man? Forget about that foolish myth. Man doesn't exist, never existed, never will exist. There are only Starriors on this planet, and soon there will only be destructors. And as our slaves, only those protectors who will work without complaining. The troublemakers have to go.
Let me at him, boss. I'll ream him to death. I'll take him apart bolt by bolt, and I'll love every minute of it.
Yes, Gouge, I'm sure you would love the chance to take out your wicked temper on our protector friends. But your way is slow, and there is a chance that they may catch on to what is happening and revolt. My little plan will destroy them all at once in a tomb of their own making. I like that idea. Yes, the protectors are digging their final resting place and don't even know it. Do you understand what I am saying, Sawtooth?
I think I'm beginning to.
Does it surprise you, Sawtooth?
No, Slaughter, but...
No buts. We must destroy them before they gain the capability of destroying us. You might call it a preemptive strike, Sawtooth. You can understand the importance of that, can't you? Why do I always get the feeling that you are secretly sympathetic to our protector enemies? No, don't bother to protest. Just remember that we will be watching you, and at the first sign of disloyalty, you will be destroyed without a thought. For my plan must not fail.
Slaughter Steelgrave's little conference with his fellow destructors, Sawtooth and Gouge, did not go unnoticed by Hotshot. Nothing would make Hotshot happier than to fulfill his programming and to prepare the Earth for man's return. Easygoing by nature, he is aware that something sinister is up, and that his fellow protectors may indeed soon be fighting for their lives. And so Hotshot turns for advice to Twinblade, the brilliant and artistic waster. Twinblade, I think Slaughter Steelgrave is up to something, having us protectors dig this huge tunnel. But I don't know what.
You may be right, Hotshot. He seems very nervous these days. Remember how he made me stop working on that old wall in the Forbidden Zone? It was full of beautiful carved writing. He doesn't realize that an artist becomes very attached to his work.
We all know what a fine artist you are, Twinblade. But how about coming up with a brilliant idea to help your fellow protectors?
The answer is obvious, Hotshot. Never dig yourself into a tunnel that's a dead end. Always plan for an escape route, if trouble comes.
We're going to be dead builders, Hotshot, if we sit around and listen to our artistic friend Twinblade. It's time that we protectors took on the destructors and showed them we can fight too.
A little patience, Cutter. You know our programming doesn't allow us to be fighters. I think Twinblade may have some information in his databank that may be of assistance to us.
Okay, Twinblade. What's this about an alternate escape route?
Send for Windstorm, Ripsaw, Runabout, Crank. I want you all to be in on the plan. The quickest way to gather all the protectors was to send Motormouth, the messenger rammer.
Hey, Ripsaw, Windstorm, Runabout. Hotshot wants you over at Think Tanks for a conference. Did anyone see Crank? He's never around when I have to give him a message, and I don't even know what the meeting is about. Nobody tells me anything. I think they think I talk too much. After all, my job is to give messages. What do they want me to be, a deaf mute?
Speaking of deaf mutes, Slaughter Steelgrave was about to complete his plan with the help of the huge avenging angel known as Deadeye, the blind Cosmotor, who with his deaf-mute scout Cricket formed the ultimate destruction machine.
Well, Deadeye, I think the time has come to get rid of those goody-goody protectors. I'm sick to death of hearing about how they are going to prepare the Earth for man's return, when we know that man will never return. It's getting to the point where they are actually threatening us destructors.
Oh, treacherous protectors, you will soon breathe your last, for Deadeye will receive great pleasure in terminating your existence on this planet.
Exactly what we had in mind, Deadeye. Isn't that right, Gouge?
Let me at him, Slaughter. My spiked ream can make slivers out of the whole bunch.
Down, Gouge, down. Why risk close combat and possible injury when we have Deadeye and Cricket? We will guide them to the outside of the tunnel the protectors are digging. Then Cricket will guide Deadeye in firing his high-explosive demolition discs. A few well-placed explosives will cause the tunnel to collapse with all the protectors inside. Neat and complete, I would say. Don't you agree, Sawtooth?
Not exactly a fair fight, Slaughter.
Fair? Did I hear you say fair? Well, fair isn't part of my programmed vocabulary, Sawtooth, and it had better get dropped from yours. The only thing fair to Slaughter is that the Starrior Destructors survive as rulers of this planet.
The next several days passed, with the Protectors busily digging, and the Destructors urging them to work faster and faster. Yes, Hotshot had his Protectors working at full steam. A plan, an escape plan, was being put into effect just in case. Then, one morning...
Hotshot, looks like the tunnel is almost finished.
Yes, Slaughter. When we Protectors do a job, we really do a job.
Guess you could say this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Now that all you Protectors are assembled, we have a little present for you.
As he spoke these words, Deadeye and Cricket appeared at the entrance to the tunnel and started firing high-explosive discs. The roof of the tunnel began to crumble, and it looked like the Destructors' plan to bury all the Protectors was going to work. But as we said, Hotshot and the Protectors had prepared their own way out. Due to Twin Blade's years of experience in archaeological excavations, he was aware of a hidden network of sewer tunnels that originated when man had ruled the Earth. With the help of his maps, the Protectors found the entrances to these tunnels, and as the rocks started caving in around them, they slipped out through the secret passages which stretched under the city. If Hotshot and his Protectors get lucky, they could follow these tunnels and find their way to freedom and the Forbidden Zone. Perhaps there, they could fulfill their goal to find and awaken their creator, man.